Welcome back to ABC Racing. Today's challenge is going to be British Racing Green, where we're going for the gold achievement. It's around Silverstone GP circuit, and it's with the McLaren MP4-12C GT3 car. Picking it up now at Club Corner. Get a good exit here onto the Hamilton straight. It's a sequential gearbox again, so I don't need to worry about the clutch. We're not going to brake for the first corner of Abbey, we just need to lift off the accelerator when we see the curve of the gravel trap. Use all of the entry curb. Farm is flat out, but we need to stay to the left to get a good entry into the village. Brake at the start of the curb and get it down into third gear, that'll give you good traction and exit out the corner. You can see I'm not happy with that because I've missed the apex. Brake just before that curbing on the right hand side and then flick it in hard to the left hand corner, get it down into second for a good exit. Again, I'm not happy, but let's get it to entry now. Quite a bit of a straight now so I can recompose myself. Looking ahead for your braking point in Brooklands. It's about 10 metres before the corner marker. Remember to brake in a straight line, use the late apex and use that curbing at the apex. Position yourself now for the best entry for Luffield. It's a long corner. You really need to maximise your speed out of it. It's okay to run a little bit wide and taking a bit more speed through it as long as you get a late apex and get a good exit. If you got the exit right, you'll be naturally running over the exit curb. Flat out through Woodcourt and next is Cops Corner. Brake in just before the tarmac changes colour. Get it down into fifth, use all the entry curb and all of the exit curb. Try not to run too wide though because it will unstabilise the car and you will lose time. Maggots and Beckett's is a compromise. Do you want more speed in or do you want more speed out? Whatever you do, make sure the exit speed through Beckett's and Chapel is good. The car will want to be unstable as you go into Beckett's. Keep it as tight as you can through Beckett's. You will understeer towards the exit. Down the hanger straight now, all we need to do is get these gear shifts right and look ahead to Stowe. As we come under the bridge, you can see the corner up ahead. As we go down this straight, we'll hit the rev limiter, which I'll talk about changing in the setup section. Brake now and get it down into fourth. You want a mid to late apex because the track tightens on the exit. Try not to use too much exit curb because it's quite slippery out there. Brake in at the corner marker for Vale. Remember keeping a straight line and get it down into second. Turn it in and kiss that sausage curb on the entry. Use as much as the entry curb as you can for Club Corner. Don't go out too wide again because it is slippery out there. Get a good entry onto the Hamilton straight. Up through the gears and across the line, and that's another gold achievement. Sorry the achievement didn't pop, but this is a replay as I said earlier. Right, so with the setup then, we got a few things we got to do here. Gears, we got to set the 49, 65, 84, 109, 127, 148. We know we topped out at the end of that straight, so we can change the final gear ratio, which will increase all of the gears, making the acceleration slightly slower, or we do the top three gears. So like 6th gear, we turn up one, 5th gear, and the 4th gear, you turn up a little bit. Either or, really. Tyres are slick soft, 17, 18, 15 and 15. With fuel, I got 15 litres of fuel in there. Electronics, I got it set to 3 and 3. Aero is set to 1 and 11. It's quite high, but it's quite demanding for the car. Alignment, minus 3.9, minus 3.9. Toe of 7 and 7, and then the rear it's 4 and 5, and a camber of minus 2.5 and minus 2.5. The different toe, that's just to try and cool down the left rear tyre, which does get quite hot, so that's why that's slightly different from the right hand side. Dampers set to 12 and 12, 16 and 16, 8 and 8, 38, 38, 11, 11, 28, 28, 13, 13, 23, 23. Drivetrain is set to 60 on the diff, and the diff course is 50. Generic is 100 for the engine limiter, obviously. 69% brake bias, 100% brake power. Suspension, the anti-roll bar on the front's 4. The wheel rate of the left front is 140 and 140 on the right. The height is 17 on the front. The wheel rate for the rear is 145 on both sides, and the height is set to 20 in the rear, and the anti-roll set to 1. The suspension travel is set to 45 in the front and 45 in the rear. So with the telemetry, I wanted to do it slightly different today. I'm going to look at my fastest lap, but I'm going to compare it to a later lap that I did, where I just wanted to get the section through Village and the loop right and see how much time I could gain. And I'm quite surprised, really, that it's nearly half a second. I knew I lost time through there, my best lap, but I didn't realise I lost half a second. So, comparing it against my other lap, I actually go in to Village slower, but because I get a better racing line, if you have a look at the map, I get back on the throttle quicker, use all of the exit. I go slower then into the loop, but because I got a better racing line again, I'm able to get out earlier. Now I do remember from this lap, I haven't got footage, sorry, but I do remember I took a little bit too much entry curb, so I didn't get the best exit out of it. But even so, you can still see how much time I gained. And that's just by getting my braking point right, which I was a little bit heavier on the brakes earlier, and then carried that speed through the apex and got on the accelerator earlier. And then you've got all of that difference made up then. So looking at the difference to reference, yes, my fastest lap going into the corner was actually 1.5 tenths up. But by the end of the corner, of the first corner, Village, it was 3.5 tenths down. Yes, I guess I'm on that back, going into the loop, back to 0.1 tenths down. But then it goes up to half a second down then, going through the loop. I get a better exit though, so I get some of that back going through the loop section. Right, so looking in a bit more detail, this is obviously my best lap, so the one we've seen on the Hotlap. I understeer going into Village and into the loop section, so I needed to be on the brakes slightly earlier, make sure I hit that apex. It's because I'm understeering that I miss the apex. If you look at my steering angle, I'm actually steering less on my rerun, which is the blue steering wheel. But I get the apex so much better that you wouldn't have thought that. But that's just the understeer kicking in. And the reason for that is I broke slightly earlier on the rerun lap. I come off the brake earlier and I stay on the brake on my fastest lap, which means I'm probably locking up at that point. And then on my rerun, I'm braking earlier into the loop because I haven't got quite as good an entry there into the loop than my fastest lap. So this time, even on this rerun lap, just to gain a little bit, somewhere between these two racing lines is probably the optimum. A little bit of a compromise, which cornering often is. But that's where the best time would be. Throttle, I don't think we're going to learn much here, but I come off slightly earlier on my rerun lap. And then I'm on it earlier on my best lap through Village. Probably because I'm worrying about it understeering off the track on my rerun. And then I'm on the accelerator earlier through the loop on my rerun. But I come back off it there because if we have a look at it there, look how much I'm on the curb. I'm nervous of it becoming unstable. And that's why I come back off the accelerator and pick it back up then. Pretty much the same time as my other lap. But I've got a better, smoother corner in my fastest lap. But I've missed the apex. Should have been having an apex around there. And I would have made it perfect. Maybe even a little bit earlier. I hope you've been enjoying the videos. Please subscribe because it does motivate me to carry on doing this. Like the video, comment, let me know what it is I'm not doing so well or what you enjoy about the video. And most of all, thank you. There are a few of you watching them and I can see how many of you are subscribed. I can see how many aren't. There's quite a lot who aren't subscribed, but I can see the watch time you guys are putting in as well. A lot of you are watching it like to the end, which is just amazing. Thank you.